Hello, I'm Steve Kime with the City of Enid. Thank you for joining us today on Meet the Commissioner. My special guest is the newly elected Ward 6 Commissioner, George Pankonin. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, been working on the name, George. Welcome to the Enid Television Network studios.
Thanks, Steve.
And I've known George, and I'll call him the Commissioner and George off and on through our interview today. He's given me permission to say that. But we've worked on a variety of a couple other projects in regard to really the relationship between the City of Enid and Vance Air Force Base. And so that's how I've gotten to know the Commissioner a little bit. So thanks for stopping by the ETN studio today. And this is the opportunity for our viewers to meet the Commissioner. George, right off the bat, just tell the viewers a little bit about your professional life, if you will.
Okay. I guess the Cliff's Notes version of George Pankonin.
That works.
I started out, went in the Air Force in 1970, primarily because the only lottery I won was the one the Selective Service Bureau was doing back then.
Yeah.
Say that a little tongue-in-cheek because it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me. So I spent about 23 years in the Air Force, rising from Airman Basic to the last job I had. I was a squadron commander. I was a major in the Air Force. So the Air Force was good to me. I got an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, never left active duty, had no loans to pay. There are a lot, it's one of the best things you can probably do to encourage a young person that really doesn't know where they want to go yet.
And very few individuals say with all 3 degrees that there's no debt.
No, that's right. Yeah,
that's
true.
really a challenge for a lot of people today.
So I did that for about 23 years. One of the places I was stationed between 88 and 91 was Vance Air Force Base. And I really liked it here. It wasn't the last place I was. The last place I was at, I was the squadron commander up at Chanute Air Force Base. And when it came time to retire from the Air Force up there, I thought first about Enid, Oklahoma, and decided to settle here. I have a son that's developmentally disabled. I really like the way the Enid population treats those folks.
Okay.
So that helped to make my mind up about where I wanted to be. I also got a job offer from Northrop Grumman that was out at the base at the time and worked for them for a few years. So anyway, that's what brought me to Enid. But I've been volunteering around Enid for a very long time. Even when I was on active duty here, I ran Camp Tomahawk a couple of years. Which is the program, kind of a base city cooperative program run through the Chamber of Commerce that provides a camp for people that otherwise may not otherwise be able to go to a camp. So I did that. Got real active with Special Olympics and still am to this day. So that's kind of where I am. I've served on several boards and committees, including Air Force Association, both local level, and I've served as the state president for Oklahoma with the AFA. I'm on the CDSA board of directors, serve as their secretary treasurer. Started For Our Kids, the For Our Kids Foundation. I'm one of the founding trustees that started that back in 2003. So lots of things to do in Enid. People that say there's nothing to do in Enid just aren't looking very hard.
They're just not looking around. Well, first off, thank you for your service to our great country. I appreciate that. And I appreciate your involvement in Special Olympics. As personally, I've been involved as a volunteer at Special Olympics over 20 years. And it's an organization that's been near and dear to my wife and my heart as well. Mm-hmm. Well, Commissioner, let's start right off the bat. Let's talk this city council stuff, get it going. Okay. Why in the world did you run for the office of city council?
Well, I don't know. I guess a couple of reasons. One, the volunteer work that I've done in different parts of Enid, I think helped me to prepare to do something like that. Two, I've recently fully retired, and now I think I have time to be able to devote the time necessary to do that job properly. And so I figured it was my time to step up and do that.
This leads into my next question, which is perfect. You already shared with us your academic background, your professional contributions, your service in the military, and the fact that you're active in nonprofit boards and things of this nature. What, with all of that, George, what tools and resources do you sense, based on everything that you've accomplished so far, what will you bring to the City Council?
I think the biggest thing I can bring, City Council to me is almost like a nonprofit in that there's a board of directors, there's usually an executive director that's a higher paid staff. I compare that very much like the city manager. And I compare the commissioners very much like a board of directors that provides focus and strategic outlook on the organization. So I think that has helped me prepare. I think my military background did as well. In the military, I mean, whoever's the top commander is the one that makes the decision, but he relies on a staff of people from all different segments to provide input before that decision's made. So I see a commissioner's job much like that as well. So I think all of those things help to prepare me for the job that I'm doing now.
I imagine during the campaign and then after the election, knowing that you were selected to serve the Ward 6 Commissioner for the City of Enid, that you had this thought, said, okay, now what do I want to achieve? And you may have thought a little bit about that during the process and then after the process. So that's the next question for you, Commissioner. Okay. What do you hope to achieve as Ward 6 Commissioner?
Well, I don't really have a big list of things that I think need to be done because I think the city's been run quite well. I think, but anytime you're in an environment where you have all you can spend is what you make, then there's going to have to be allocation decisions. And I think maybe we need to spend a little bit more toward fixing the streets and the potholes and some of that. It's very unglamorous, but it's a very important part. And I haven't been through the first budget process, so I might be speaking about something that I don't know a lot about yet, and I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot about it. But I think if you had to say what's the one complaint everybody has more than anything, it's usually roads. So I'd like to see something done about that.
If people would just stay off of roads, just stay home, stay off of roads, then they wouldn't be bouncing along the way.
That's right.
Well, Commissioner, you had a swearing-in ceremony a few weeks ago, and we captured that on the Enid Television Network, and people can go to enidtv.org, and you can go to past programs, and you can see the previous study session and also a City Commission meeting, and you'll see some of the photographs on the City of Enid Facebook site where Commissioner Waddell and also George was sworn in. So, first meeting behind you, and was there any surprises, or just give us your thoughts or responses to your first meeting?
Okay. Really, I didn't think there was any surprises.
It was a short meeting, which was good.
Well, actually, it turned out to be fairly long. We didn't end up, But I really appreciated the fact that the city manager called Commissioner Waddell and myself and sat down with each of us and spent a couple hours going through the agenda just to give us a feel not only for that night's events, but for the process and how the commission meetings are going to go. Very, very much appreciated that. Was there any surprises? I don't think so, but I guess I'm the kind of person that the first few times out, I like to figure out what's going on before I start talking too much. And so I was doing a lot of that. I was doing a lot of learning as we go through. Now, I knew what the issues were that I was voting on, of course, but as far as group dynamics and the behavior of the council as a whole, I like to kind of feel my way around, and so that's kind of what I'm doing now. But I'm very happy with all my fellow commissioners. I think we're going to be a great group. I think we represent many segments of the city, many different backgrounds, some military, some not, some east side, some west side. So I think we've really got a good mix of commissioners to try and do the best for the city.
George Pankonin, my special guest on Meet the Commissioner today, representing Ward 6. And it's like, George, like you're reading my notes, because my next question leads into the diversity of the City Council. As I'm out and about in the community, people approach me. They see the white-haired guy on TV or in different places, and they're always talking to me about potholes. When you're going to fix this? What's the update? Right. Or the latest on Call Lake? Just a variety. The people are very gracious, and they just care about the city, and they talk about issues important to them. But one thing that they ask me about is, say, well, we watch the City Council meeting from time to time, and boy, that's a real diverse group of people that you have out there serving. And so this leads to my question then, since you've already identified the diverse group that it is, what do you think the keys to success of a diverse group that we have? What would be those keys?
I think it's an open-mindedness on the part of everybody that's a commissioner. You get emotional about ideas and shut down an idea as soon as it hits the table. You have to hear through the idea and hear the rationale behind the position, and then formulate your opinion about that idea. And so I think that's probably the key to that.
The Enid Television Network, Commissioner, was moved into the Public Relations and Marketing Department within the City of Enid a few years ago. And we have strived to really make this a resource to market the community, produce videos and interviews. We've had 4 different interviews with Oklahoma governors. We've had a variety of individuals that lived in Enid, have been gone 50 years, have come back. So we've been really trying to highlight Enid as a community. But another role that the ETN plays is broadcasting study sessions. That wasn't done in the past. It was always the council meeting. Now we're able to broadcast the study session and then also the city council meeting. Since probably one of the goals of city government is to be transparent, to be really visible and out there, it seems like ETN has helped meeting that role to provide all of our meetings on television. What do you think about all of that stuff being televised and just by a click of looking at your smartphone or your iPad or your computer at home or Channel 12 or 112, you can see you at study session. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I totally agree with it. Study sessions, I don't think any part of public government is, with very, very, very small exceptions, should be hidden from the public. If you're talking about should we give somebody on the city a raise, then maybe that ought to be discussed in private.
Sure.
And there are some things that should be discussed in executive session. But I see the study session as a perfect opportunity to really express your opinions without an eminent vote, but it gives the voters a better chance to understand, and the constituents a better chance to understand what it is you're really thinking and what your position is on things, other than just the formal request for a vote and then the lights go on and it's over. So it gives them a chance to see the discussion that went on behind the scenes, and I think that's very important. It's a great role that ETN provides.
Well, this really speaks volumes to our commissioners and really the television, if you will, the network team that we have, because all across Oklahoma you will find a city council meeting on television, but you will be hard pressed to find the rumble and tumble, if you will, study session. But yet Enid is leading the way. And I hear that from mayors and other individuals across the state saying, Steve, what you guys are doing, you're leading the way in a lot of things due to the willingness to broadcast those study sessions. Commissioner, you're representing Ward 6. Do you sense, and I know it's only been weeks on the job, not even months, but weeks on the job, do you sense your needs in Ward 6 are any different than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Or granted, it's a different geographical location in the community?
I think there's probably issues in every ward, and they're probably not the same issues in every ward. I think Ward 6 is in relatively good shape. I think Commissioner Van Heuser did a very good job of representing the ward. So we were talking about streets before. I think maybe I have less trouble with streets than some of the others in the city, but I'm interested in all the streets in the city being upgraded. So when I say that, I'm not saying I want them to concentrate on, Garland. That's not the case at all. I'm after the whole city's infrastructure upgrade. So I think each area probably has unique challenges that we need to represent. But I think we've been well represented in the past, and I plan to continue that.
Well, we'll look forward and have you a year from today. See if you're available, and we'll come back and we'll get an update and compare your answers and compare your experiences. Commissioner, this is the opportunity. We've kind of gone through all of our, quote, prescribed questions, but I'd like to give you the opportunity. You can speak to the camera, speak to the viewers, and this is your opportunity to speak to the folks at the City of Enid. Okay.
Well, first, I'd like to thank all the folks that elected me into office. I hope I have given you the positions that I think are important, and I mean it when I say please contact me if you have any questions or anything like that, any concerns. But I thank you for your vote. One of the things that I think I can bring that we didn't talk about, maybe Commissioner Waddell and I can bring, we now have 2 people that have a significant role to play at Vance Air Force Base that are on the commission, which was not the case before. And I think that's probably important, and maybe we can help with that. Some of the things are that come to mind is on my time as the VDA, we did several things to upgrade the city that helped the base as well. And some of the things that people don't think about is Caw Lake. We talked about that before. But I know that from my time on the VDA, one of the primary things that DOD looks at when they're looking at installations is the availability of water. And I think we have the foresight to look well into the future, and it solves not only our local problem, but it also helps with, I refer to Vance Air Force Base and Enid, Oklahoma as the Twin Cities. Not St. Paul and Minneapolis, but Vance and Enid, because I believe we're that close. And I think we look out for each other that much. So I think it'll help with both of us coming from the base.
Well, Commissioner, welcome aboard. Appreciate your time today. By the way, Commissioner Waddell, he's next in line.
All right.
So he'll be on Meet the Commissioner next. So
good.
Thank you very much. And again, anytime that you need to come back and visit with folks of Enid, and specifically Ward 6, you're welcome here at ETN.
Okay.
You can sit down by yourself or with me, and we'll just talk, and we'll just talk about issues. And anytime that we need to update folks on anything, ETN is here to serve.
Great.
So thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve.
Well, thank you for joining us today on Meet the Commissioner, Ward 6 Commissioner George Pankonin. Just sure hope I got that right.
You did. Perfect.
I'll keep on practicing. Thank you for joining us on today's program. I certainly hope you enjoyed it. You can go to our website, which is enid.org, and you can see the list of all the commission meetings, all the board meetings, things that go on in the city of Enid. Also, you can select under the different departments. You can find out where the mayor's located, his information, along with the other 6 commissioners as well. So, hope you enjoyed our brief visit today. Until next time, I'm Steve Kime with the City of Enid. Make it a great day.